Is what studying abroad dreams are made of. Do subscribe and hit the bell icon.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel iSchoolConnect. Like every week, we are back with some really interesting content. And this week, we are going to be talking about yet another recent development in the space of the GMAT test. And it is, of course, the introduction of the physical whiteboard. And to talk about all of this, we have Stacey with us from Manhattan Prep. Thank you so much, Stacey, for joining us today, and to take our time to tell us the various things you can do, the various possibilities students have. Over to you, Stacey.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited that they are allowing us to have a physical whiteboard now. That was a handicap before in terms of taking the test online. And interestingly, we will have both the physical whiteboard and the online whiteboard. So it's really, I wish they had done this from the beginning. It's best of both worlds because there are good reasons to use both of them. Mm-hmm. You just need to know when you want to use the physical and when you want to use the online. But you actually do want to use both.
So exactly, the question is, when should I use the physical one versus the digital one?
Yeah, so the physical one, obviously the vast majority of your math is going to take place on the physical whiteboard. It's much easier to just pick up a pen and write. Anytime you want to type though, you're like write words out. If you're more comfortable typing, use the online whiteboard. That's what I will do on the verbal section and the IR section when I need to take notes. Anything that you want, any information that you want to remain persistent and easily accessible throughout the exam. So like your time management strategy, for example, put that on the online whiteboard because that never clears unless you click the clear button. So the online whiteboard content stays the entire time. Your whiteboard, your physical whiteboard, you're going to be erasing as you go because it's only a limited space.
And you've got to, because it's just 11 by 12 inches.
Exactly.
That isn't much space. Centimeters.
It's 12 by 20 inches or 30 by 50 centimeters. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's decent to do some work, but it's not going to be, you're not going to be writing stuff that you want to keep the whole time. You put that on the online whiteboard.
Right. And so you would want to keep something static, like the timing of the test and everything.
Yeah, the time management that you want. And actually, you're allowed to pull up the online whiteboard before the exam even starts when you're still in the instructions screen. So you can put up your time management plan for all 3 sections before the test even starts, and then just leave it. Even if you close the online whiteboard and open it again, everything you wrote will still be there. So you'll just be set up for the entire test. And I'm even going to, the next time I do this and actually get to use both, I'm going to consider using the online whiteboard to keep track of my answer choice eliminations for verbal and for the IR section. Instead of having to write down A, B, C, D, E and do it on my physical whiteboard, I'm going to change the online whiteboard to be just this tall, skinny little thing that I can place right next to the answer choices and just X and check as I go right next to them.
Right. I think that's super cool to be able to do that rather than jotting it all down.
I mean, that's better than having to do it on the physical whiteboard.
Exactly. And I think we've covered some of the most critical things and amazing tips right there. But now that centers are opening as well, now maybe in another 15-20 days, majority of the centers might open. And we'll still have the chance to take the test online. So the question is, would you rather take the tests at home or would you go back to the center?
I do think that's a personal call. For me personally, I would take it at home again. It's so much nicer to take it at home. I can control the environment at home. First of all, I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to go travel for an hour to get to the center. But I can make sure that the room is the right temperature and that my seat is comfortable, and I don't have to worry about somebody else in the room making noise. Sometimes you'll hear people like muttering under their breath, or someone's like sniffing or something like that, and you can hear them while you're taking the exam. Again, as I said, it's a personal call. You have to be in a space that you think is comfortable and that no one will interrupt you, and not everybody has that luxury. And I actually think the interesting thing is so 2 things. One is I would actually recommend that everyone be prepared to take it both ways, because you don't actually know, unless you're planning to take it in the next few weeks, you don't actually know by the time you're ready to take it what's going to be going on in the world. So you won't know necessarily whether you're definitely going to be taking it in the test center or at home. So be ready to do it both ways. And then here's the interesting thing. I generally tell people plan to take the exam twice. Just plan to take it twice. The first time you're going to be really nervous. You might not perform at your best and you'll want to take it again, or who knows, you could get sick in the middle of the test or something like that. So plan to take it twice, and then if you like your score the first time, you just don't take it the second time, but have that mentality. Well, if you do have the choice of taking it both in person and online, the way that they're handling the scores, they're keeping the scores separate. They're keeping the scores in two different records. So if you take the test in a testing center, you can report your testing center scores separately. Then if you take the test online, you report those scores separately. So if you take it one each, you basically have two different scoring records. You can choose which one you want to send to the school. So the schools are only going to get the one score that you want to send them. Or if you like both scores, you send both scores. But like it actually opens up some interesting possibilities there.
It does. I mean, I really like what you said about taking the test twice, because I know people who've taken the test once and they've taken it online, and no matter how well they've scored in the practice tests, even if it's a 770, they've ended up with 640, 680. And it just seems bizarre about why that could have possibly happened.
That actually happens even in the testing center. It's not unusual for that to happen. And I have had students who that has happened to. I've also had students who've scored higher on the online exam than they scored on any of their practice exams. There's always some variability like that. But there are some reasons why somebody's score would drop like 100 points when they take the real test. That happens in the testing center too.
Yeah, and I think just be prepared mentally to be able to take the test twice, and maybe once in the center, or maybe, both the times at home, whatever you're comfortable with. But yeah.
And right now they're still saying that people can take the online exam only once. So
right.
We'll see if that changes. Presumably that will change if this stretches out over time. But yeah, assume you're going to take it twice. If you love your first score, you can take the money that you were going to spend the second time and go have a good dinner somewhere and celebrate. But yeah, just have that mental assumption that the first time you go in, this isn't it. You're going to go take it again. It's okay. Deep breath and just go ahead and take the test.
Exactly. And when you mentioned that, you should be prepared to give the test either which way. And that's really important, because we've heard a lot of these recent cases where they stated out on the website, GMAT mentioned on the website that the center is open, and people have gone ahead, registered for their tests. They've gone to the center and the center is closed.
So all of these tests, they don't run the centers themselves where the tests are given. They contract that out to other companies. And so those other companies are making their decisions about whether to have the center be open or closed or whatever. I do recommend, if someone is in this day, like with everything so changing so much from day to day, that anyone who's scheduled to take it in person, call your testing center the day before. Call the actual testing center, not the testing organization, just to make sure that they're open, that everything is okay, because things are changing so quickly.
Absolutely. And we know that we've gone back and we've rescheduled for other dates, the other students whom I've spoken to. And even with the rescheduled date, the center is not open. And luckily, here comes the news about the physical whiteboard. And everyone's really happy about that, because, it gives a lot of... It does give, a sense of comfort. So I know a lot of students out here who are, a lot more comfortable, if not completely, about taking it from home. So.
Yeah, I think the only two drawbacks for me were the physical whiteboard and the fact that there's no break between the quant and verbal sections of the exam. So that second drawback does still exist. But the physical whiteboard now, that's fine. And then for the no break thing we talked about last time, create a break for yourself. You're going to have to sit in the seat. You're not going to be able to, you have to stay in the view of the camera, but you can take 2 minutes from the end of quant and 2 minutes from the beginning of verbal. That's one question each. Or if you know that you usually have extra time in one of those sections, take the whole time from that section, and just sit there and do this and just loosen yourself up again and give yourself that mental break. It really does make a huge difference.
Absolutely. I think those are some really important points for students to know and observe. I think we've covered pretty much everything that we wanted to. Apart from this, if you're looking for any further information, guys, about the whiteboard, digital whiteboard, or the whole test, the whole experience about taking it from home, we're going to be linking the video somewhere here, and you can definitely watch it. I think that's pretty much it. Any final thoughts, Stacey?
No, I'll just say for anything in life, it's true that the more that you know what to expect, the less stressful that experience is. This is why I say be prepared to take it either way, because then if you have to do it one way versus the other, you'll know what to expect. So just in general, do your homework. You're doing that right now by listening to us and researching what the exam is like. So do your homework and just get a pretty clear picture in your head of what to expect on test day. And that will go a long way towards helping to make it not too stressful. It'll still be stressful. It's always stressful, but it won't be overwhelming if you know what to expect.
Absolutely. Those are some wise words, guys. You can always catch up with us with all of this information and more. We'll link all the channel information below for Manhattan Prep, as well as the other videos that we were talking about in the description. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much, Stacey, for joining us today. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, please like it. And if you want to watch more such videos, please do subscribe to our channel. That's it from me today. This is Malavika signing off. Take care. If you liked it, please like it. And if you want to watch more such videos, please do subscribe to our channel. That's it from me today. This is Malavika signing off. Take care and bye-bye.